Do these look tasty to you? I wonder what the Super Bowl ads would look like for these. Next month, new versions of Cheetos and Doritos are set to hit supermarket store shelves. The parent company, PepsiCo, is announcing these simply naked versions of the classic snacks, which will not contain any artificial colors or flavors. The U.S. PepsiCo CEO explaining that the new version is not a replacement, but just an added option for consumers. And the company also promises the flavor of the snacks will taste the same, even though they will look incredibly different. So we'd love to hear your thoughts once they hit store shelves. The change, though, does come after the growing push from HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the FDA calling on companies to remove artificial dyes from their foods. Several other companies are also working to remove dyes from their products, like Kraft Heinz, for example. But Maha Moms, the movement that really helped to push big food to clean up the ingredients that they are using in their food products, now has a new reported enemy. The New York Times is reporting that major food companies are quietly backing a new group, one with deep pockets and a clear target: the Maha movement. The group's calling for Americans, it's actually called Americans for Ingredient Transparency, or AFIT, you may be hearing it called. And it's reportedly using industry cash to try to roll back some of the Maha Moms' progress, fighting back against state-level bans on chemicals and other additives in ultra-processed foods. Now, AFIT argues that without a single national standard, consumer prices at the grocery store are really going to spike because companies would have to reformulate their products for different states. And look, states really are taking action. I've been reporting on it for months now. Environmental Working Group says that nearly 30 states have passed laws or are considering bills to restrict artificial dyes and other additives commonly found in packaged foods. AFIT says, quote, Americans for Ingredient Transparency was formed because every American deserves the same ingredient regulation and labeling, no matter their zip code. But critics say AFIT is just the latest front group for big food, following the same playbook that's helped to keep chemicals on U.S. shelves long after they've been banned in other countries. That's according to food activists like Vani Hari. Now, Hari, you've heard her called the food babe, and she says that Washington needs to be the center of the solution and not the problem.
It's important for Americans to understand what we're up against. Washington has largely been captured by these food corporations, and that's why we haven't had real food chemical reform at the federal level.
So here's the catch. Many of Maha's wins have kind of come through these handshake type of deals and not actual federal laws. Most companies' promises to remove these chemicals have no real legal teeth, just political pressure. And when it comes to the political impact of all of this, the Maha movement is now one of the GOP's most valuable and powerful grassroots bases, especially for Republicans looking toward the midterms. Vice President J.D. Vance appearing with Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this week at the Maha Summit, praising his push for accountability.
The most important thing is that your team is willing to ask questions that people in government haven't been asking in a long time.
The question now, food activists say, is whether big food's money can actually outmuscle the Maha Moms momentum.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.